Set in East County Longford, in the Irish Midlands, lies the village of Abbeyshrule. Surrounded by a mixture of rich agricultural land and bog, the village fords the River Inny on Ethin on the eastern boundary, whilst the Royal Canal on Canal Riaga forms the perimeter on the west, with the harbour nestled in the village. The remains of the ancient monastic abbey and parish graveyard lie to the southeast of the village. Immediately north is the Whitworth Aqueduct, a well-preserved example of 19th century stone masonry. Including the Whitworth Aqueduct, there are 4 bridges within the confines of the village. Known also in early Christian times as Shrule or Shrowl, the village takes its name from the Gaelic word for stream or river. Abbeyshrule, the abbey on the river. It is within these bridges that we endeavour to integrate all our natural amenities and waterways, heritage and monuments which we are fortunate to have. All development and planning in Abbeyshrule is carried out with a partnership arrangement with the local county council and Waterways Ireland as the main stakeholders. Abbeyshrule Tidy Villages has a 3-year action plan that is updated annually and reviewed with relevant stakeholders.
Well, in the built environment section, it's very much a snowball effect where people, if they see their neighbours painting their house and their house looks well and it gets mentioned, that they'll follow suit and they'll do the same the next year, and there'll be a little bit of competition between houses, which is all good for us. And in particular, as you see around the village, there are some beautiful gardens.
Colour schemes are standardised throughout the village based on the natural and built environment and what seasonal planting will complement the landscape. Permanent and seasonal planting is coordinated and planned well in advance. Soil areas are prepared and examined for suitability and maximum impact and appropriateness for species chosen.
In Abbeyshrule, as with other villages, where you have nice picnic areas, where you have areas where people can park, can fish in comfort and walk along the banks of the canal, admire sculptures that's there, that'll make them stop, make them take an interest in your place, make them stop and make an awareness of we have 3 lovely walks in our village area, and they'll stop here and they'll say, right, we'll go for a walk, it's only an hour and a half, it's 3 kilometres or something like that, and then we'll go and we'll have a cup of coffee, or the children can fish and kids can canoe in the canal, they can fish in the Inny River as well.
The rewatering of the Royal Canal and provision of river and canal bank walkways has attracted a lot of fishermen to our area, and along with the airfield, annual vintage displays and the Goldsmith Summer School, we have quite an abundance of tourists and sightseers to our village. Our canal banks are a valued resource and afford a focal point for families and village folk to meet and enjoy activities. There are many green open spaces, both formal and informal, in the village. Our 2 housing developments have generous green space allocations, which reflect the relaxed open plan of the village, and priority is given to sustainable and positive living spaces for village inhabitants. The village green, Fisherman's Haven and Canal Harbour areas are well maintained throughout the year, whereas other green spaces allow for less maintenance given their waterside location or biodiversity sensitivities. Work is also progressing on the provision of wildlife signage for the bird sanctuary and fishing areas.
The setup of tidy villages and the constitution of tidy villages is having different people taking on different tasks, and there's a lot of meeting in it, and it brings people out more into the community, cross-talk, getting people showing their different interests in gardening, sowing trees, sowing shrubs, and you work on people's strengths, and it integrates a lot of people into in pursuit of the one goal, and that's to be successful at tidy towns. And as well as that, there's no monetary reward in tidy towns, and the only reward we get is the pride that we have achieved something in it in our lifetime. We're just passing through, and that we'll leave a mark after us. and the goodness and the help and all the rest and the assistance that will come out of it. It makes you feel proud to be from Abbeyshrule, and that it's a lovely village and we're part of a great community and it's a good place to live in.